Peace, everybody. It is Dynasty Mirror Search for Huru. Thank you so much for journey. Thank you so much for joining. I apologize about that. We are live. Make sure you guys go to dynastymirror.com. Go to dynastymirror.com. Please join our email list so you can stay in touch in regards to what we're doing. Also, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the content as well. Also, go to Amazon.com, search your name, Dynasty Mirror, buy a book, please support. I wasn't going to speak on this topic in regards to George Floyd and what happened in Minnesota. My brother, Fitzgerald Stevens, asked me to. So, he's my brother. So I am here to address what happened in Minnesota. I wasn't even going to watch the video, but a good friend of mine yesterday said, Dynasty, watch the video. And guys, the reason why I wasn't going to really get involved and touch on the topic is because incidents like George Floyd, incidents like I think the brother's name is Ahmaud Berry, I believe, the brother who was murdered in South Georgia, is going to continue to happen. Is going to continue to happen. And there's only one solution in regards to addressing and solving this. The only solution, guys, is to slowly pull your resources. Ahmaud Arbery. Ahmaud Arbery. I'm sorry, I apologize. That just shows you how somewhat disconnected I am, because it's going to continue to happen. And the only solution is to slowly pull our resources out of America. That's the only solution. And we keep dancing around the issue. We need to hold police accountable, more oversight. It's to the point now where you have grown black men. I was listening to the D.L. Hughley show. D.L. Hughley? Yeah, D.L. Hughley. I believe it's how you pronounce his last name. I was listening to his show some yesterday. I was running an errand. And he was trying to intellectually masturbate on why we should vote for the racist white man, Joe Biden, over the racist white man, Donald Trump. And this is why black people get no respect in America. And this is why white officers feel empowered to put their knees through our throats. There's only one solution. And that's to slowly pull your resources out of America and take it to Africa. That's the only solution. Because I'm telling you, it's the same song and dance. Black man gets killed. Here comes Benjamin Crump. Here comes Sean King. Rinse, wash, rinse, repeat. It's the same story over and over and over and over again, and it's going to continue to happen. My bones are buried here in America. Here's some more bones for you. And I'm not trying to make light of what happened. I'm not trying to minimize what happened, but I'm just saying, here's some more bones. And you're going to have more bones buried here in America until you guys say, look, we are pulling out. What's the definition of insanity? Continue to do the same thing and think you're going to get the same result. A different result. Again, continuing to do the same thing and thinking you're going to get a different result. It's the definition of insanity. And right now, black people, the majority, are just insane, out of their freaking minds. What kind of protection do you have here in America? I swear, just these stalling tactics. I don't get it. These stalling tactics. Brother, well, they sold us into slavery. What kind of protection will we have? What kind of protection do you have here in America? You're getting killed on live TV, and you worried about protection in Africa. You're getting murdered on live television, and you're worried about what kind of protection you will have in Africa. And it's been going on now for 400 years. It's just, I don't get it. Like, guys, please help me to understand what's with these stalling tactics. Excuses. The Africans sold us, into slavery. Excuse. What protections do we have in Africa? What protections do you have here? Like, tell me, what protection do you have here? One I guess solution that people are offering was we need to black-owned businesses, which is important. But with this coronavirus situation, how have black businesses been impacted? Well, only 5% receive the emergency loan from the SBA. He didn't deserve to die like that. He did not deserve to die like that. But when I just hear black people still with these stalling tactics, like somebody said, I guess, well, massa over here in America ain't that bad. And what kind of protections do we have in Africa? It's just, it doesn't make any sense. I mean, I don't know. That's why I don't protest anymore. I stopped talking about it because, in the words of holipism, black people hate America, but they love America. That's what it is. When you tell people to pull their money out and they stop giving you the stalling tactics, in reality is they hate America, but they love America. That's what it is. That's what it is. They hate America, but they love America. So they're not serious. It's like battered wife syndrome. I mean, your husband might dot your eye when you didn't properly warm up his TV dinner, but he loves me. He still loves me, girl. That's how you sound. Yeah, girl, he punched me in my face. He punched me in my eye. He slaps me. But girl, he loves me. That's how you guys sound right now. Our bones are buried in America. I mean, America punches me in the face, slaps me in the mouth, punches me in the eye, but he loves me. That's how you sound. Seriously, that's how you sound right now. So I just don't know what to say. Like, I'm gonna be honest, I wasn't really prepared for this, but I wanted to address it. But that's where we're at right now. I mean, that's where we're at right now. Like, it's really nothing else to talk about. I mean, I've been saying the same thing for the past 4 years, 5, 6 years, longer than that. It's time to pull your resources out slowly and surely. I mean, that's what it's about. Yeah, because for some reason you guys forgot about all our bones that are buried in Africa to focus on this small time space of 400 years of bones being buried here in America. I mean, I say it again, we fought in every war. We built this country, but you don't own or control none of it. In the words of Lou Major, okay? In the words of Lou Major, America is the Ferrari. White men drive the car. Black people are in the trunk. If there's even a trunk in a Ferrari. Meanwhile, Africa might be an old beat up Camry, but you could change the engine. You could put some spinners on it. You could turn the radio station. In America, yeah, you might have built the Ferrari, but you're not driving it. You're in the trunk. Meanwhile, everybody else, they white men, they can turn the radio, change the station. Democrats allow, immigrant groups come in, change the channel, turn the station. Black people, you in the trunk. But you're worried about protection in Africa. coronavirus. It's just we're at the crossroads. I mean, we're past the crossroads. It's just to the point now where again, like these police incidents, like I'm not gonna address them because no one is giving the proper solution. It's the same old cycle. Call Benjamin Crump, call Sean King, and let's just see what happens. That's the same old story. It's the same old story. So, guys, that's the only solution. And again, I don't understand why Black America is so emotionally vested into this place called America. I don't get it. I don't see why Black people as a whole will not consider options outside of America. Because this is going to continue to happen. We're going to continue to make up the majority of the prisons. I don't care who's in office. I don't care who's talking about prison reform. There we go. Black World War I and World War II veterans, when they came home from fighting in the war, they were lynched in their uniforms. I mean, what else do you people want? Like, what do you expect? What do you expect to change? Nazi prisoners of war, all right, here in America, were shocked how Black people were treated here in America. So, I mean, I just don't, like, what do you want? Like, you just want more bones buried in America. This is just an ego thing now. Like, that's where we're at now. This whole our bones are buried here in America. It's an ego thing now. It's just ego. Ego and false hope thinking that something's going to change one day. And everything is projecting that it's going to get worse. What the net worth of Black people in 2053 is supposed to be at $0. You really have grown Black men with absolutely no. I mean, this just shows how. This just shows why black people, we don't get any respect. We have grown adults arguing on which white races is the least of evil, of the two evils. Which white races is going to be the better fit? That's the argument right now. And then we're surprised that why we don't get any respect. We have absolutely no dignity as a whole, as a collective. Again, I'm just listening to grown Black men trying to argue why this white racist named Joe Biden is better than the white racist named Donald Trump. This is what we're dealing with. These are the Black men that, I guess, lead the Black community. Then you guys are surprised when a Black man is getting lynched on TV because we allow it. Like I said, there's only one solution. Pull out. I mean, again, if your homegirl is getting beat by her man every night, what do you tell her? You pull out. You slowly pull out. I'm not saying everybody got to go to Africa tomorrow. But if it's not in your, if you don't have an Africa game plan, you're doing yourself a disservice, period. You know, if your game plan is, okay, Black man gets killed on national TV, let's vote for Joe Biden. What kind of plan is that? Let's call Sean King and Benjamin Crump. What kind of plan is that? I mean, what kind of plan is that? When you really want to try to have when you really want to try to argue, because that's what this argument is, what about a protection in Africa? I'm not saying Africa is perfect, but when you really want to try to raise this argument as if Africans are treating Black Americans worse than the police here in America, That's sick. Do you know how crazy that sounds? We are, yeah, black people here in America. This is how twisted our minds are. This is how sick we are. Where literally, black man gets killed by a white police officer. Someone says, "Hey, won't you look into, at least setting something up in Africa?" You want to pretend like Africans are over in Africa sticking their knees in the necks of black Americans. That's how sick we are. White man is on TV, is on TV, hands in pocket, knee on neck, relax, lynching a black man on TV. We say, hey, take a look at Africa. You want to bring up slavery. This is how sick black people are. It's a sickness. Then on top of that, you want to say that the white racist Joe Biden is a better fit than the white racist Donald Trump. This is how sick our people are. That's why I'm checked out. I'm checked out. Again, like I said, black people hate America, but they love America. I wish Holub was in here. Holub, are you in the chat room? In fact, Holub, I need you to come on. Holub might be at work. But that's what it is. Again, it's sick. White police officer kills black man. White vigilantes kill black man who's jogging in the street. You want to deflect to Africans like they're the problem. Yeah, where are the Moors at? We have an agreement with the United States. We are the Moors. We're gonna. I mean, guys, what happened to we're gonna go to the UN. We're the Moors. Where are they at? What happened? Here's another one. Where are the Moors? We are the Moors. International law 6667 peace treaty. Where are they? We're going to go to the United Nations. I mean, where are they at? Can somebody find them? Can a Moor call in? Yeah, we are the Aboriginals to America, and we have special rights. Where are they at? Yeah, the copper color. We're copper colored Moors. Where are they? Again, the only solution that people are just trying to dance around and our leaders refuse to bring up is, hey, you know what, guys, it's slow. Let's pull out. Let's just pull out. Where are our reparations crew at? I mean, where are all these groups at? They have all the solutions outside of pulling out. Yeah, brother, see, we're going to go to the UN. We'll go to Hague in Prague or whatever the hell it's called. Prague, Hague, whatever it's called. And see, we're going to pitch we're going to present the UN Resolution 575 to the United Nations, and they're going to give us American, brother. Where are they at? I'm just saying, it doesn't make any sense. And the only reason why black people hate America but love America, because again, America as a black person, and that's gonna change now. This coronavirus situation, you can go out and get a job. That's the reason why black people are sticking out here in America is because of jobs. That's it. Let's stop playing around. Let's stop dancing around the issue. Let's stop avoiding the elephant in the room. The only reason why they're here is because of job and credit. You take away jobs and credit from the black community, we will be worse than a third world country. Worse. That's the only reason why we're here is because we have access to it. And I'm not mad at that. But all I'm saying with those jobs and that credit, it's time to start pulling those resources out and investing elsewhere. Oh, in healthcare. Well, not even healthcare. But jobs and credit is the only reason why we get upset, but then we say, well, we have no protection in Africa. No, it's just it's because you're worried about your job. That's what it is. You're worried about your job. Is there affordable housing in Nigeria? Of course there is. But anyways, guys, good luck. I will not be protesting. All right, I will not be hands up, don't shoot. I will not be I can't breathe. I will not be doing any of that. Because, where's ADOS at? And again, I agree, because technically I'm ADOS. So I agree that there's a debt owed to those that built this country, descendants of slaves who built this country. But I don't understand the emotional attachment to this place called America. I don't get it. No, I know I can't save everybody. That's why I'm over it. I mean, people who want to hear the message, I'm here. But at the end of the day, the Africans treat us bad. We have no protection. ADOS, I'm a Moor. All these groups, all they want is a better seat. All they want is a seat on white daddy's lap. That's all it is. I don't know how to put it. I don't know how to properly articulate it. They just want a better position in the white system. That's all in the system. That's all they want. That's all it is. So when you guys hear that stalling tactic, that's all it is. They just want a better position under Zaddy. That's all it is. That I'm telling you guys, at the end of the day, they try to intellectually masturbate and all this other stuff. It all comes down to they just want a better position under Zaddy. That's all. Again, they want to get out the trunk of the Ferrari, and Ferraris don't have back seats. So I don't know. Get on the hood. I mean, I don't know. So get out the trunk because it's hot. Maybe, when the Ferrari, hardtop Ferrari, they can sit on the hood. I mean, I don't know. But that's all it is, man. No, when they come with the whole, we built this country and all that stuff, well, you don't control any of it. You're not going to control any of it. You don't run any of it. That Lou Major, hold on, Lou Major. I gotta get Lou Major on. Hold on, Lou Major. I'm gonna send you the link, Lou Major. I'm gonna send you the link. I mean, that's what it is. The black people that have all these stalling tactics. That's what it is. They just want a better position in Zaddy's system. And they still have hope after 400 years, all the lynchings, that one day is going to happen. So now the rationale is, if we get rid of the white racist named Donald Trump, and if we get the white racist Joe Biden in, we're going to be okay. This is how sick we are. I mean, we're sick. Again, black man gets murdered. I mean, this is more graphic than when Eric Garner was killed. Gets murdered. I say, hey, guys, let's start moving our money out of the system and buying land and investing in Africa. You want to have the stall. You immediately come up with a stalling tactic. Where's our protection at in Africa? When you have no protection here. You immediately want to deflect as if Africans are the problem. That we need to blame Africans for what happened to George Floyd. I mean, we're sick. I mean, I don't know. That's why I wasn't even going to speak on it. Like I wasn't going to. I had no plans on speaking on it. And I probably won't speak on any more police killings forever, because we're past that point. Like we are past that point. Because I'm telling you, let me tell you, I'm going to tell you what happened. This is like a script. It's already scripted. Black man gets killed. Here comes Benjamin Crump. Here comes Talcum X, Sean King. We'll be upset for maybe a month or two. Then next year is going to happen again. More bones are going to be buried after that. And it's just going to be the same old, same old. Black wealth is almost at zero. We see how the coronavirus impacted the Black community. But you guys, for some reason, still have hope in the system. I just don't get it. Like, I don't get it. All right, Luke, I'm going to send again. I mean, I'm gonna tell you this: Black people who watch this are in giving all the excuses to not look outside of the country and not consider building in Africa. You are setting up your future generations for failure. I'm telling you right now, you are setting up your future generations for failure. Diney said it. Mark this day, May 28th, 2020 at 3:55 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. For those that keep giving all these excuses, for those that keep giving all those excuses,
You know,
yeah, hold on, Lou Major. All those that keep giving all these excuses, you are setting up your future generations for failure. I'm telling you right now. I'm telling you, for all those, another Black man gets killed, we're saying, hey, look, invest in Africa, build in Africa, buy some land in Africa. I mean, we complain about how we can't afford the American dream. We're getting killed in the streets like dogs. In fact, not even like dogs. I guarantee you right now, if that was a dog under that police officer's knee, that dog, I mean, oh man. If that was a dog under that police officer's knee, that police officer would be under the prison right now. So we can't afford the American dream. We're getting killed worse than dogs. We fill up the prison populations. We don't own or control anything here in America, but you're worried about Africa because you think you don't have any protection. You are setting up your future generations for failure. I'm telling you right now. Go ahead, Lou Major.
well, I think we've tried the position of trying to convince people who are concerned about going by saying, we don't have any future and trying to point it from this way. I think, when I think about it, I think what I've come to honestly understand is that a lot of people don't want to go to Africa because of the fact that one, Africa has problems. One of the people I listen to, aside from your show, used to roll with them a lot, who's a little bit on the other side of you on this, would be a guy named O'Shea Duke Jackson. And what he always talked about is how Africa got problems and how there's all the tribalism and the infrastructure sucks and all of the problems. And you know what, man, I'm not going to sit here and be dishonest. Some of those things are true. They're probably not as extreme as people make them sound, but they're true. Those are very real. What I think to myself is that people need to understand that 40 years ago, China was the same way. In fact, it was worse. What's the difference between the Chinese and Africa? Well, China has a mentality that if you're a Chinese person or if you're of Chinese descent, and you're anywhere around the world and you're making money and you're not doing anything for China, then you're not Chinese. I think that the way we ought to start looking at things is if you're Black and you refuse to help build up your home place, which is Africa, no matter what you say, then you're not Black. You're something else, but you're not Black. Because if you were Black, you'd care about people who look like you. And if you were Black, you would want a home base for you and your people, right? I think we want to attach ourselves to America because we think it's the best deal out there. It's not.
That's what it is. It's all about
Okay,
jobs and credit. It's all about jobs and credit at the end of the day.
right. Well, no, it's not even that. They want to attach this to what they perceive to be a winning team. I've thought a lot about, for example, us, a lot of black people getting behind Joe Biden, and I've reflected on it. Why would black people do that? I mean, it's not black people are not. Black people may not know a lot of stuff, but why would they do something like that? And what I realized is that black people just wanted to be attached to a winner, at least who they thought was going to win. And so they want to attach themselves to America, even though America has been abusive to them, even though America has made it very clear that they don't want them, they don't love them, they don't desire them. But they want to be part of America because they think America is the winning team. So what I think I'm going to do here is I'm going to, instead of attacking black people, which I've found it doesn't seem to be helping, let's actually talk. Let's see if America's a winning team. So let's look at the American economy here, guys, that you guys are holding on to desperately. America right now is on the brink of complete economic collapse. It has a currency that's not backed by anything. It has almost no gold reserves. Its income inequality is heading to the same level of most third world countries. We have, through this coronavirus thing, has shown blatant, unparalleled incompetence and unpreparedness. We manufacture nothing. We're an import dependent economy, and the only thing that holds us together is our ridiculously large military and the fact that we could print as much money as we want. Both of those things are slowly but surely crippling this country. And so even if you wanted to look at it in a different way, America is just not where you want to be. It's not even, I don't see America being a great power within a generation or two, if that. And so what we're holding on to as black people in America is a dying superpower. It's the equivalent of holding on to Rome when the barbarians were outside Rome's gates. This is over. This American experience, this experiment, this 250-year experiment, it's about to come to an end. A new age is about to be ushered in. And this is you as a black person, as an individual, if you plan on having kids or if you have kids, this will be your final chance to have any opportunity to create anything for your lineage for the next 100 years. Black people will not have another shot of establishing anything going forward. Many of us here are working stiffs. You guys probably have 9-to-5 jobs, especially those who have this weird affinity towards America.
Lou Major, that's about to come to an end.
Yes. They don't realize that. I don't think people actually understand how close we are to breadlines. People don't really understand that. I think people really think America is going to be this great power. Well, here's the reality. The bottom 50% of America, that includes most black people, living standards have gone down over the past 30 years. America looks more like Brazil than it does any first world Western country. It's getting old. It's getting poorer, and the income distribution is getting worse. So you guys can, if you guys are afraid of Africa, fine. You want to be afraid of Africa, but you should be even more afraid of being in America, because I tell you what.
Hold on, Lou Major. But will we be protected in Africa? That's one of the stalling tactics.
That's a really good question. Let me ask you guys a question. Are you protected here? I need you to understand
Lou, for some reason that doesn't matter. For some, I don't know why.
And here's another question. Why can't you protect yourself? Why do you need to, women need to be protected? Am I talking to women or men?
Both.
Because if I'm not mistaken, men are supposed to protect themselves and others. Women cry about being protected. So if another man told me, am I going to be protected in Africa? I got questions about your masculinity. Because are you incapable of protecting yourself? You understand what I'm saying? I'm not
Right.
trying to insult anybody. If a woman said that, sure, man, I get it. You're a woman. But if a man said that, I have some questions about your masculinity. What kind of woman, what woman would feel safe around you when you're sitting there saying, am I going to be protected in a space where everybody looks like you? That's just bizarre to me. Because, and another thing, you're also saying that a hell of a lot of other men are more manly than you because there's a bunch of Chinese in there. There's a bunch of white people in there. There's a bunch of Arabs in Africa too. I don't hear none of them talking about, am I going to be protected? So I've got some questions about those people, and those particular people aren't any good to themselves. Never mind Africa, because if you're worried about as a man being protected in a certain place when you're supposed to be protecting other people, what use are you to anybody? Stay here and die. What we're talking about is people who are worth a damn, who actually care about themselves. I ask myself, I have a question for most people. Are you proud to be black? Do you love your people? I'm not here to bash anybody at this point. I don't want people, because I heard I was on your call and I said the word Afro-Colombian. Somebody heard just the word Colombian, and then somebody's like, I knew it, and then they wanted to dismiss everything I was saying at the idea that I was married to a non-black person. Now, the person that people I'm married to happen to be black. But what was funny to me was you're so desperate to not take responsibility for your own actions that you're going to go ahead and say, because this person is married to a non-black person, even though what he's saying is true, I'm going to dismiss it. That's insane. That's that's insane. I'm hearing there are black women who are literally saying we shouldn't march for George Floyd because he was married to a white woman. That's insane. And when we're doing stuff like that, that's disturbing, man. And I don't think that shows that these are very hurt people, and so I don't think it's going to be beneficial for me to say you're bad or something is wrong with you or something like that. I don't think it's gonna I don't think that's gonna help anybody. But I will say this, man, like this is pretty disturbing, man, because you have to understand that I don't know if people realize this, but do you guys realize that in less than 30 days, in less than a month, we have now had like 3 different blatant, unequivocal, outright murders of black people? Do people realize that? We had police run into a man and his wife's home for issuing the wrong warrant, killed a woman. This is by the police. Then you got another guy who's jogging. 2 white men hunt this man down and shoot him in the street like a dog. And then we have this guy, he puts his full weight on this man's neck to the point the man is literally calling out to his dead mom. The first thing that's disturbing is that other black people saw this happening because this was in our community and they did nothing but videotape it. They did nothing but videotape it. I think people need to actually think about the disturbing fact that this was able to happen publicly and people watched it happen. And then guess what? Just like the normal, got Benjamin Krupp. He's already on the case. We're going to probably have some marches and nothing's going to happen. And I'll tell you what, man, I was saying some shit about the Africans in Zambia the last time I was on. You know what the Africans in Zambia recently did?
What's that?
They rioted, they burned down. First of all, they shut that Chinese person's business, and then they rioted and they burned down several Chinese factories and killed several Chinese people. So somebody got killed. Heads rolled over that. I could say whatever I want. We can say whatever we want about Africans, but is anybody going to get killed besides that black dude for any of these events? Is anything going to happen to any of these people? So who's worse? So when we talk about, am I going to be protected? Are we even protecting ourselves? And so again, I don't want to put anybody down. I'm not even trying to help people get into their feelings, but I could tell you right now that if you hear it in my voice, I'm extremely perturbed at this point. And I think at this point there needs to become an us versus them mentality. You're either for us or you're against us. That's it. And if you're against us, you're no different than a white person, which means if it comes down to it, you get the same fate they do because you're not with us. And that needs to be the new mentality of black people. And I'm talking about real black people. Not people who have the skin of black people, worse than white people. I'm talking about real black people. Black people like you. People who want to do something. Because look, I'll be honest, Africa's got problems. It does. Do you know how you fix those problems? You do the work and you fix them. Africa needs infrastructure. It does. Do you know how you fix that infrastructure problem? You put up the money and you make it happen. Because that's what the Chinese did. That's what the Chinese did, man. Chinese businessmen from all over the world opened up factories and free zones throughout China. And they helped China become the second most powerful nation in the world. So if you're not down to build up your continent, to make sure to maintain the propagation of the race, then you ain't for black people, bro. Don't tell me about how you want to see black people good wherever they are. Don't tell me about how you helped out some black person go to school, some African go to school. Don't tell me about any of that stuff. Are you with us or are you against us? And at some point, I think talk has to end. And you're either going to take action or action is going to be taken against you. Because at some point, this has to stop. This has to stop. I've got a son. I just found out a couple of days ago that my second wife is pregnant. I got another kid on the way. This can't be life for them. This can't be the world they live in. My brother, you got a son.
Yep.
This can't be the life that he lives in. This can't be it for us. I'm tired, man. Aren't y'all tired? I mean, aren't y'all tired, man? Do you understand that we've been talking about police brutality for at least 70 years? Now police killing black people in the streets like dogs. They made a movie about an incident from the 1960s in which police came into a building where black people were living and flat out murdered them, and none of them went to jail. Aren't you tired? Aren't you tired of the fact that to this day there's still bad water in Flint, Michigan? Aren't you tired of that? Because if you're not tired, then you ain't black. And I know I can't. Somebody's gonna say, "Well, you don't have the right to say that. You're the Haitian man." Fuck you. I mean, I'm serious. Fuck you. All right, because at the end of the day, you want to try to separate yourself out and say, "Oh, this guy's Haitian, this guy's African. I made the U.S." Are you proud of that? Is that really something to be proud of? That you're going to hold on to the fact that you've been a second-class citizen, whether you were a slave or 3/5 of, or under some kind of Jim Crow, some kind of apartheid, you get killed in the streets like a dog. You're proud of that? You want to distinguish yourself from every other black person? Because being an American is a sense of pride for you? Man, fuck you, man. May you die slow with a sick dick in you.
Lou. Oh, golly, Lou.
Nah,
Lou.
man, don't even try to censor me, man, because at this point,
Go ahead.
this has to stop. Don't you, dude, you saw that. You see that video? It's 9 minutes, bro.
Lou Major. I did not want to watch it, but my friend yesterday was like, "Dan, you got to watch the video." I'm like, "Listen, I'm not gonna watch it because I know what's gonna happen after the video. Here comes Benjamin Crump. Here comes Lou May. I mean, here comes Sean King. Black people will be mad for about 2 or 3 months. Then the same shit's gonna happen again next year, or probably 4 months from now. So I'm not.
How can we let that?
Like, Dennis, please watch the video. I watched the video and I was just, man.
Go, bro. You gotta understand, bro. We got kids, man. We've got sons, man. This guy, and it's not just that video, it's the videos from the stuff before that. This guy wasn't even resisting arrest. The justification for that was that he was resisting arrest.
But Lou, let's break down the video from what I saw. Now, one of the cops, like an Asian Hispanic dude, was like soft, like looked like the Pillsbury Doughboy, was just fat and out of shape. I mean, it's just you get these guys who are just so inoppressive, and you give them a badge and a gun, and now they think they're just above the law. They can just do anything.
It's even worse than that, man. I think they took a certain amount of. I think these white folks, they take a certain amount of joy out of that, because you gotta understand, this brother, you know, he's about my size, man. About 6'5", 240 pounds, built like a tank. And I think they took some pleasure out of that, man, because they wouldn't do that one-on-one. This man was handcuffed, dog. That's what it was. He was handcuffed. He was handcuffed on the ground, completely defenseless. And they did that shit to him. And I heard as this guy was screaming, this dude saying, "Shut up." He told this dude to shut up. Now, would he do that if that dude wasn't in handcuffs and he didn't have that badge and that gun? Or would he buck up like a little? We both know how that situation would have gone if that guy could defend himself. These white folks, they take a certain amount of pleasure in that, man. The idea of being able to dominate somebody they know they can't dominate. And I'm sitting there listening to this other black dude on video saying, "Man, just give in. You can't win." And he's like, I can't do anything. Because he couldn't do anything. He just get in the car. He's like, "I will." The guy still wouldn't take his foot off his neck. This wasn't about resistance arrest. This was about trying to show people, I could do this to you, and there's nothing you can do about it. And the entire community just watched it happen. They just watched it happen.
Hey, Lou, you think the athletes are gonna shut down or protest at all?
No. They might wear some T-shirts, bro. That's what they'll do. We saw the last time an athlete tried to step up, his own people turned on him. You know what's funny? You know what's funny about all this? Colin Kaepernick gave up his career to fight against this, and his own people stabbed him in the back. To this day, people are still trying to dog out Colin Kaepernick. Marcellus Wiley did an interview just the other day, dogging out Colin Kaepernick. So, like, what do you even do? I don't understand this. I don't understand this. And then there's going to be these people who somehow want to try to take some kind of sense of pride in all of this. Like, that's nothing to be proud of, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, what has happened to our people in America and the Caribbean, that is an aberration of our great and illustrious 40,000-year history. We've had a bad 500 years, but let's just call it what it is, a bad 500 years. I hate to keep bringing up the Chinese, but the Chinese will keep it real with you. We had 100 years of humiliation. We are never going to be humiliated again. That's their mentality. Let's just, as black people, say, you know what? We've had 500 bad years, but we're never going to put ourselves in that position again. That's it. And Africa is yours. It's wide open. What the hell are you afraid of? Like, you can't be so scared that you will not create a home for yourself. Okay, for example, let's say you don't give a damn about yourself. Fair enough. You don't care about yourself as an individual. Fair enough. Do you care about your kids? Do you care about them? Do you care about your lineage at all? Do you care about? What do you care about? Do you really want your kids to grow up in a world where there are people with badges and guns who take pleasure in being able to humiliate them when they're in a defenseless position? Do you really want your kids to grow up in that environment? Is that what you want for yourself? For your family? I'm not trying to bring anybody down anymore, man. I'm being honest. I want to. What is it gonna take? What has to happen for our people to get it? Let's just say, I'm going to concede a point. Let's just say that America owes black people. I'll agree with you. Let's just say that your bones are buried here and you have to fight for reparations. You know what?
Okay, Lou Major, fight how? I mean, you have people in the chat room saying we're gonna fight. Fight. How's this fight look like, Lou Major?
You know, the reality is, when I hear people say fight, I wonder what the hell they're talking about, because you're not fighting at all. When they could kill you in the streets and there's no consequences. George Zimmerman's alive. That cop who just did that, he's probably going to be alive too. The guy who killed Trayvon Martin, he's alive. They're all alive. Nothing's happened to him. So where's the fight? Get punched in the face and then not punch back? I mean, like, I need to know what the fight is. Vote for Joe Biden? The guy who went ahead and created the crime bill that put you all in jail? Like, what is the fight? Because here's the deal. At the very least, if you go to Africa, you could gain some power, wealth, and resources. And then you have a standing chance of fighting back. You could then make people give you reparations when you have control of real resources, when you could really do real damage to them. Because at the end of the day, Africa's where the resources are. Without those resources, America's not America. Without those resources, Europe is not Europe. So at the end of the day, you go to Africa, at least you got a fighting shot to maybe seize some control of some of those resources. And then you could go ahead and make reparations get paid. That's just the real, man. Like, the reality is, what are you going to do? Because I think we ought to start really putting this in perspective. If you're not trying to find a way to put an end to this in any real and meaningful way, you don't care about your kids. You certainly don't care about your race, but I don't think you care about your kids. Because if you would allow your kid to grow up in an environment where that can happen to him or her, and I can't say him or her because black women are getting shot down too. If you're willing to put your kid in that environment and you're not willing to fight like hell to get the hell out of it, you don't care about your kids, man. If you're willing to send your kids to a school where they're going to be taught that they ain't shit, they come from slavery and they ain't never done nothing, if you're willing to send your kids to school that way because your ass is too lazy to teach them themselves, because let's just keep it real. That's why most of these people send their kids to these public schools, because you're too lazy to teach your own damn kids. You're too lazy to pick up a book, learn, then share that knowledge with your children. Let's not pretend it's something that it's not. You just don't want to do it. And that's fine. You don't want to do it, but you don't care about your kids. And that's just the truth. We got to start being honest. I'm not trying to say black people are bad. I'm not trying to say black Americans are bad. I don't want to bash nobody. This includes immigrant black people in America who are doing the same shit. Any black person who's going to send their kids up to some white school to let white people who clearly don't give a fuck about you cheat your kids, you don't give a shit about your kids. Because at the end of the day, why can't you change the way that you live your life so you could teach your own goddamn kids? So they don't have to go to a place where they have low self-esteem and self-worth because they end up believing that they ain't worth shit. You put your kid in front of a TV all day. This goes for any black person, any from wherever you are. Your kid sits in front of a TV all day, and he's constantly getting reinforced these ideas of his low value in society. And then you're surprised by why by the time he's 4 or 5 years old, he doesn't think much of his skin or any of his features. Or she, thinking that they're ugly. And then when you get shot in the streets and they get abused this way, that's why we don't do anything, because we don't ourselves don't think the value of a black life is worth shit. Because you got to understand what this guy put his hands in his pocket. He put his full weight on this guy's neck, on the pavement. I don't know if you guys know how to fight, but let me explain to you what was happening. What was happening is, guys, not only was he was being deprived of oxygen, but he was cutting his brain from blood. So there was no blood circulating through his brain. That is the most painful thing you could do to another human being. In the fight world, it's called disconnecting the computer. So when you heard that man screaming, the level of pain that he was enduring, you could not possibly comprehend. And he was in the black community on the pavement, and everybody watched it happen. Live with that for a moment. Live with that. Are you not tired? Now, I'm not saying violent armed conflict, but at the very least, walk away. Are you not willing to, are you really, for those who don't want to go to Africa, answer me this. Are you saying to me that living in a country where this can happen to you is better than building something for yourself?
Not just yourself, though, Lou Major, your legacy, your children.
I'm trying to simplify it as much as I can, man.
We can't simplify it, bro. I mean, you got to be building for at least 2 generations down the line.
I don't know if those people who are against going to Africa really think that far ahead, bro. Because you got to be a pretty selfish human being. You got to be, and again, this is not just African Americans. There are a lot of Africans who are like this too. So I'm speaking to my people, all black people. There's a lot of Africans who are like this. There's a lot of Haitians who are like this, Dominicans who are like this, Afro-Latinos that are like this. This is a black thing. So I'm not just picking on black Americans. This is all black people with this mentality of, I ain't leaving, man. You have to be a royally selfish human being to be able to watch something like that and say, I ain't gonna do nothing about this. Because that means that you're willing to continue to finance a society by paying your taxes to it. You're willing to finance a society that does that to people that look like you. And maybe you could say, well, I don't know George Floyd. Fine. But what happens when it's you? What happens when it's your son, when it's your daughter? Whose fault is that? Because this is ongoing now. This is ongoing. We could say the people back in the 60s, they might not have known about Africa. They were deprived of that information. But now people are telling you, people are showing you, people are making that available to you. So what excuse do you really have? You have to really look at yourself in the mirror. All the people who are getting really angry and are probably writing stuff, I'm gonna call out some names. This is particular person called Tiger who watches you, who just this guy or girl is a tiger in Negro stalling tactics, just types away in terms of excuses. There's several people, and I'm gonna say this to all these people. You have you have to take a strong, hard look at yourself and ask yourself, why are you putting so much energy into defending a position that in your heart of hearts you know is wrong? Why? Could it be fear? Why? Because when you get humiliated by the police, because we all have gone through it, we all have had that humiliation. Who do we blame? I'm gonna tell you guys some things that I'm hearing about is happening, man. There's a group that's coming together that's getting ready to create a bank, an actual bank, man. A group of less than 100 black folks got together, black diasporans got together.
Mm-hmm. I know about it. I know about it.
Yeah, this is some crazy shit I heard about, man. They got together. They bought like they started this huge ass farm in Nigeria.
Enion.
Yeah, yep. Then they went and they've got some land they're picking up in South Africa. They got some land they're picking up in Malawi. I think by the end of it, they're gonna have like 13,000 acres. They're starting a fucking bank. All right. You know, I'm sure you probably are connected to them. You'll probably bring. None of these people are millionaires.
I've heard about it. I've heard about it.
Yeah, 80 people did that. If 80 people could get together, pick up 13,000, that is 1 and a 3, then 4 zeros behind it, acres of land. Start up an entire bank, build 2 farms. None of them are millionaires. None of them. So it's not like a bunch of like big time. These are normal people. If they can do that shit, what could 150 black people do? What could 200 black people do? What could 300 black people? What could 1,000 black people do? What could 20,000 black people do? If 80 people can do that much in such a short period of time, what's your excuse? You know,
Lou Major, in under a month, or a little more than a month.
Yeah. So I hope you bring some of these people on your show and they talk about what they're doing, because these are normal fucking people. They just decided to do something.
And Lou Major, Lou Major, and the great thing about it is no egos involved, know who you voting for, know what group you with, know you believe in vaccines or you don't. None of that.
You know what those people are?
Serious.
Real black people. That's what they are. They're real black people.
Email me, Douglas. Send me an email. Oh, go ahead.
That's what they are. They're real black people. And I can honestly say, I'm proud of shit. I'm so proud of them, because it makes me know that there are some of us left. There's some of us out there. Not all of us are about making excuses and bullshit. These are real black folks. And you see what real black folks do? They take action. I hope to God that some of you guys can start being real black people. Not all of you guys are like this. I'm talking to the ones who are the people who are diehard, I'm a hold on to America people. I'm talking about those people. Those are the people who I would say are not really, they're not black people, because they ain't for black people. There are some of you who are listening to me right now in the sound of my voice, who inside you want to do something. You want to change. You want to be part of something. You just don't know what to do. Get with Dynas. But the rest of you guys who are just out here making excuses, don't call yourself black. Next time you do an application and they ask you what's race, leave it blank. Put other, but don't you put black. You don't deserve the right to have the privilege to call yourself black, because my people comes from kings in Queens. My people are fucking warriors. We built pyramids. We built empires for 38,000 years. We ruled the fucking planet. We're not cowards. If you want to claim that line, that glorious, incredible line of greatness, don't act like a fucking coward. We are great and we are a special people, real black people. 38,000, 40,000 years of civilization. For 38,000 of them, we were gods on this planet. And to be honest with you, we've only had 500 bad years. So for 48,000 years of existence, for us to only have 500 bad years, we civilized the Europeans not once, but twice. When the Chinese came to our shores, they were amazed by our greatness. When the Vikings tried to raid us, we slaughtered them to the point for 1,000 years. They had a good relationship with us. We taught the Vikings how to build boats. You didn't know that. Well, we did. White people are children. When we speak, when a black man speaks, it's daddy talking. When a black woman speaks, it's mama talking. But that's not, but when I hear all these, I'm never leaving her, those aren't black people because they don't have the level of authority that they ought to have, that a black person ought to have when they speak. Because if 80 black people can take 13,000 acres of their own homeland back in less than a month, give me an army. Give me 4,000 or 5,000 black people. I'll show you what we can do. Actual black people, not fake ones. That's all I got to say on this, man.
Lil Major, we appreciate you. Go ahead.
I'm going through like a level of a slight, like, I don't know what I'm going through, like emotionally after seeing this shit, man, because I'm like emotionally drained, bro. Like, to be honest with you, Dinas, I got an incredible amount of admiration for you, man, because you seem like this, you almost seem used to it at this point. Like you.
Well, I mean, the point is, I wasn't even gonna.
I'm like mentally spent, bro.
Well, Lou Major, I wasn't even gonna bring it up because I mean, we already know what to do, and it's gonna be the same response. I mean, I already know what's gonna happen. It's predictable. So I wasn't even gonna bring it up. And it's gonna continue to happen. So it's like, what for? But I'm glad we did. I'm glad we had this conversation. But I mean, moving forward, you know, I won't bring them up. I won't bring up any more police killings of unarmed black men ever again, because it's just, I mean, it's going to continue to happen, and we're going to give the same response.
I have an incredible amount of admiration for a guy like yourself, man, because, like, I don't know if it's because I've been out of the United States for such a long period of time. I don't know if it's because I've insulated myself from it. I mean, like I said, I don't watch TV. But, man, these past few months and just seeing all of this shit, and it's constant, man. That shit starts to get to you psychologically, man. It really starts to get to you psychologically.
I wasn't even going to watch it until yesterday. My friend was like, Dinas, please watch this, man. And I watched it. I was just, you know
Lil
what?
T, I'm gonna call out some names real quick. Lil T, get with Dinas, man. If everybody who's saying I want to do something, get with Dinas, man. Because, man, this group is an inspirational group, bro. They're fucking inspirational, man. But like I said, man, I believe, man, if we had 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 people focused and driven, we could build. Who knows what we could do? But like all I got to say is, man, anybody who is hearing this and you really, really want to be black and you're tired of this shit as much as I am, send Dinas an email, bro. Because like I said, I don't have. I've obviously been insulated for way too long, man, because I'm not used to this. I don't even conceptualize this. Like, that video, man, like, I haven't been able to sleep since I saw it, bro.
I'm gonna say this, Lou Major. I think after the Eric Garner video, that's kind of when I was just like, it's gonna continue to happen. we don't start pulling out. And so every time I just hear this, we're gonna fight back, and then I'm like, okay, fight back how? That's vague and abstract, and no one can give me an answer. And here comes Benjamin Crump and Sean King, and it's just the same old, bro.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. There's this guy. I don't know, man. I don't know how we could do this shit, man. I don't know how we could take this shit. Who can accept this?
You're looking at it. Who's accepting it?
Yeah, I tell you what, man. Like, there are some impoverished parts of Africa. There's an area in Nigeria, bro. I saw it the last time I was there. Matter of fact, when you're in Lagos and you're going over the bridge, you see it. It's like this little community.
Yeah, it's on the right. If you're on the bridge headed to the island to the island. Well,
yeah, and it stinks. Like you smell it. Like you know what I'm saying? And like everybody lives on like the water. Man, that's poverty. That's legit poverty. But you know what, man? I know this. Y'all not gonna understand this, but until you go to Africa and are there for a long period of time, those cats who live there, and I'm talking, they've got fucked up conditions, are better off than Black Americans here. Because I tell you what, those guys are never gonna have to worry about some shit like that happening to them. All right. The same Black people, African people, we look down on all the time. Like, man, those people are so fucking poor. Oh man, they're starving over there. Which, by the way, man, they're not. They're really not. Okay, they eat better than you. I grew up in the inner city. I know how we ate. We eat terrible food because we live in food deserts. We eat no fresh food. We go into the dollar store, Dollar General. We eat fried chicken, soda. We eating absolute shit. We eat shit food. Those people, even those people who live in those impoverished environments, they eat fresh fish every day.
Every day.
They eat fresh fruits and vegetables every day. Organic, no chemicals. They eat better than you. You, the same American who thinks you're in a better position than them. And I won't lie to you, man, it's struggle. It's like real filth. That's it. I mean, it's real filth. Like it's real poverty, fucked up. Okay? They still eat better than you. They're still happier than you, by the way. Because if you actually go there, it's nothing but smiles, bro. If you go to the hood in the United States, now I haven't been in the hood in a while, but the hood don't change. It's nothing but sadness and depression and anger, and it's like a terrible place to be. Like you literally go into the inner city and you feel the struggle. You feel the sadness. You feel it. Like it's almost physical. You go into these particular environments, man, as much poverty as you see, that's just not the sense that you get. So, I mean, I just think people ought to think about that. One thing I would say that people ought to understand about America, similar to South Africa, they both are the same. America's actually two countries. Dr. Martin Luther King did a speech on this. It's called the Two Americas. He got killed subsequently after that speech. There's two Americas. There's the first world America that everybody sees on TV, where people live in Manhattan and live in San Francisco and live on the Hollywood Hills and they live real nice and they never seem to think about money and life's good. That's Seinfeld America. And then there's the other America. That America's a third world country, bro, where you really cannot see that big of a difference between that America and a lot of third world nations. So don't think for a moment that you live in that much better than other people. Now, I'll give you credit. There ain't no hood quite like that river town. I'll give you that. But
bro, Lil Major, you haven't been to Skid Row in LA yet, have you?
No, I haven't, man.
You ain't been to Skid Row yet. That, don't get me wrong. The area you're talking about, I'm very familiar with because I'm living Ikeja, headed to Lagos Island, and I'm on the mainland bridge. You can see it on the right. I know exactly what you're talking about, but it's just Skid Row, man. It's just a whole, oh goodness.
Well, if what you say is Skid Row is just as bad as this spot, then damn, man, I really don't get it. Because I tell you what, let's keep it on Nigeria. You go to Banana Island, though.
Right.
Man, Banana Island is gorgeous, bro. Like it is, it's fucking nice. Cats living over there, and they're living well. You go to East Legion and Accra, man. Those cats are living well. Like I've seen mansions in Nigeria, man, that will give. Okay, do you know about out in Asheville, North Carolina? There's a mansion that used to be owned by the Vanderbilts called the Biltmore Mansion. You ever heard of that mansion? It's like
I know that. I haven't heard of the mansion, though.
It's like 178,000 square feet. It's big as shit. All right, dude, I've seen literally rows of mansions in Nigeria, if not that big, pretty damn close.
Right.
80, 90,000 square foot houses, bro, right next to each other.
Right.
Just big, just nice. And then you go in and they've got Rolls Royces, Lamborghinis, Ferraris. They've got there's that level of poverty, but there's that too. And the good thing about being in Africa, man, is there's a real shot for you if you're smart to make it to that position. And there is no external force trying to ensure that you fail. There is an actual external force in America that tries to ensure failure for Black people. Everyone knows it. It's there. It's obvious. It's clear as day. Just going to Africa at least allows you to escape that force. Then it's just about you being worth a damn and making it happen for yourself. Being more creative than the next person. Putting out a product that people want. And that's it. And here's the deal. You don't even have to think of a lot of ideas at this point. You could copy and paste from the West because the market's wide open. It belongs to you. That's what everybody else is doing. Like I said, man, I on one level, Donis, I admire your ability to just keep it moving. I admire that because I'm I've been fucked up for ever since I saw that shit. I've been legitimately out of it. Legitimately, I've not been all the way there. Because it's hard to see that. Because at the end of the day, even though I don't know this guy, George, that guy looks like me. That could have been me. That could be my son one day. That could be somebody I know. I've got family in the United States. That could be a member of my family one day. And the fact that there are people who still feel comfortable to make excuses, that's crazy. I'm going to say it like this, man, and this is the last thing I'm going to say. Only Black people have a Jesse Lee Peterson.
True.
Only us. I wonder what would happen if a Chinese man was doing what Jesse Lee Peterson does. I wonder how long he'd be able to stick around. Anyway, man, that's all I got, bro.
Man, appreciate it.
All the people who want to make a difference, man, please do. All the people who are actually proud and love their skin color, who want us to go back to our greatness. 38,000 years of uninterrupted, nonstop greatness. Be proud of let us bring the world back to order. Africa is the center of the world. We're supposed to be ruling this planet. This planet was made for us to rule it. And those of us who are interested in bringing the world back to a natural order of things, let's make that happen. The rest of you, fuck you. May you die with a sick dick in you.
All right, y'all. Well, everyone, thank you so much for joining. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Go to dynastymirror.com, subscribe to the email list. And if you're interested in land in Nigeria, hit me up. Until next time, family, Dynasty Mirror, search for Huru. Peace.